All right. I'm some little Ladrona, which of a silly, cynical asshole. I'm here with Megatron, aka Dayton, and Salem LeBlanc. It is the return of the three misfits, and I'm just gonna be upfront right now. This is where it all began, people. If it wasn't for these two, if it wasn't for these two weirdos off the internet that I met randomly, like I am not kidding. Salem just said, "Hey, hey." I remember Salem said this. Said, "Hey, me and my other friend here, we're gonna talk about Castlevania. You wanna just hop on?" And I said, "Sure." And ever since then, we've been best friends. So right now it is time to complete the circle, and we're here to talk about Castlevania season 4. Would you guys like
Shit.
to introduce yourself?
Mr. LeBlanc, why don't you go first?
Alrighty, name's Salem. I'm an aspiring horror creator, and I have a lot of interest in mythology, horror literature, comics, all the entertainment, all the good stuff. And I am really not looking forward to this. But the hero's journey is about to come to a close, and we all are making our return home. Uh, with this Castlevania season 4, but unfortunately, looks like somebody has torn up home.
Okay, the YouTube channel's finally coming up.
Oh, hello?
Am I hearing any
Oh,
background noise, or is that just me?
no, I was
Yeah.
checking out. I was checking out Soggy stream. She's on with Beta Cat and Smug Side right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna share her stream too real quick. Why not?
Okay, so that's why I was hearing background noise.
Yeah, my
Okay.
bad. But yeah, like you said, it comes full circle. So here's the end of the hero's journey. Except the return home is. It seems like somebody ransacked the house of everything good.
Ransack? I don't think that's the proper term for when it comes to this season 4. I would say it was more of a pillage and plunder, and then burned it down to the ground.
Well, it's time to have a Dracula level revenge.
Salem. Before we go any further, there's just one thing I have to tell you.
Oh, what's that?
Fuck you! I was right. Fuck you! I was right. Fuck you! I was right. Fuck you!
Don't pull a razor fist on me. I still stand by it. Season 3 was good, and I said that season 4 could go either way, and unfortunately, it nosedived the other way.
It went the way of the dodo. I still think here's the worst part. I still think season 3 was worse. I just had no expectations for season 4, so I can't really call it worse because I actually didn't expect anything.
Season 4 was so much worse. But hey, here, let's let Dayton talk before we get into that.
I would definitely say I'm a bit of an aspiring writer myself, even though I've been way too busy with work, but hopefully things will change soon by the end of this month. Let's hope. And in regarding of season 4, oh god. Let the games begin.
Okay, well, I would rather be sitting through a saw trap than this again.
Yeah, like I said, man, I can't really say that.
Can we just talk about
like, I'm sorry. I just feel so. I am like euphoric. I am so high on being right now that I just love it. I love it. I feel like smoking a cigar.
God damn it, man! This isn't a happy occasion. This was okay. Here's the thing. This has got nothing to do with people who are fans of the Castlevania franchise. Just storytelling, characters, plots, everything as a whole. This was horrible. I do suppose, though, perhaps because I think we all have an agreement on what is possibly the one good thing in this season. So I think maybe we should get that out of the way first. Then we'll move on to everything else, if that sounds good.
Yes, let's talk about Isaac, and then we could go neck deep into the bad.
All right. So, Slim, you're the host of the stream. You want to go first on Isaac, or maybe another good thing or two that you saw?
Yeah, Isaac was a lot better. Was again the best part of this season, much like season 3 and a bit of season 2. Um, in that it felt like he was the only character who's been consistently written for the past 3 seasons. Like
Yeah.
he feels like he's genuinely stayed in the same show for 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
While everybody else has been flip flopping all around Timbuktu. Point I'm trying to make is that Isaac. I still think that a big problem with Isaac is that he doesn't really they clearly don't let me just real. They don't know what to do with Isaac. He has very little direction in the story. He just kind of he's just kind of he has goals, but at the end of the day, his whole purpose is just, oh well, I'm not a nihilist anymore. But yeah, that's it. And I even though it's very vague and doesn't have much direction, at least it's somewhat interesting that he's a genuinely he's found genuine purpose again, and it's like, oh well, I'm going to try to make the world a better place. And you can kind of respect that, even though it's again very vague. Much like season 3, by the end, I was like, he doesn't really have a direction in season 3, but now at least he seems to have some sort of purpose. I don't know what that purpose is, but it's something. It's better than nothing, I suppose.
And we'll never know what that purpose is because season 4 is the series finale. And now we don't know if, oh, hey, is he going to be the good kind of person that uses his minions to fix the world or what? We don't know what the fuck's going on.
To be fair, they do imply that he's not going to be like take over the world type shit. He's definitely not doing that. He's going more, I'm definitely going. He's definitely like whether he's a villain or not is left up in the air. But at the end of the day, at the very least, he seems to have benevolent intentions towards people. Hey, Eternal Dragon.
Yeah, the thing with Isaac that I was really really digging is the fact, out of all the characters in the show, he is the one person who evolves. It's like he starts at a certain point and he ends at a completely different point. He's the only character that even though he stays consistent, he actually goes through a complete thorough change of his character and his personality. And it was just really really good. Like compare the discussion he had with the Athenian in season 3 compared to season 4. In season 3, when he's talking to him, the Athenian, the discussion he has with the Athenian is almost a wake-up call, because he mentions, he just wants to know what the world was like, and the Athenian gives him a little slice of it, and once Isaac kind of comes to realization to, that he had released a monster on the world that would love to relish in revenge, by the next time he talks to the Athenian, he has a conversation that almost reflects the change that the thing that he had come to realize. And the Athenian asks him, why are we rebuilding this city that you fought so hard to destroy? And he says, well, we are going to rebuild it better. And then afterwards, the Athenian says, but why use us? We're a force of destruction. And this really reflects the change Isaac went through. He says, well, you can use a hammer to crack someone's skull open, or you could use a hammer to build something. He says, what the tool is intended for depends on its wielder. I think that's kind of what Isaac kind of came to realize he had all that power at his hand. He didn't need to go down a path that he felt was absolutely set for him. Oh, you feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
He's just smoking a shit ton of weed and he's dying.
Fuck. Shut up, Dave.
I told you.
Well, so yeah, I really appreciated the character. And I was glad to see that he had a good conclusion. It's a very shame that in this last season, it kind of feels like he was almost tucked to the last thing on the list that the writers wanted to resolve, and it's a shame because it's like it wasn't just us. A lot of people said that Isaac was the best part of season 3, and so for him to just kind of show up in these very, very brief intervals in this last season, it really, really hurt. It just like if they had added a little more, it could have at least had me saying like, yeah, the season sucked, but at least Isaac was there. But he is so absent from this season, despite how good his parts are, that it's like it cannot be salvaged, even with the good elements of Isaac. But I mean, like, here's how good I think he is. I wouldn't want them to make a series because after this season, I would feel, I'd feel hesitant them announcing a full Isaac series. But it's like if you had to, make a series or dedicate, like a few episodes in their full entirety to any character, then it has to be Isaac. He is definitely the most well-rounded character and the one that actually feels like a living, breathing human being compared to the rest of them by season 4.
Yeah, like here's how I put it. Like I said, season 3. Like I said, I still think season 3 was worse. But here's the thing: I like to put it this way. By season 4, everyone was basically Trevor Belmont. In season 1, basically not Trevor's character. Everybody became Trevor. Essentially, everyone fucking became Trevor. You know how Trevor would occasionally swear and all that other shit and do occasional vulgarities and shit. That would kind of break up the more serious levity of the show with people talking very it kind of in a way it kind of, like I said, in a way it kind of brought levity to the show, like how he's like, okay, this is some bullshit, like stuff like that. That's what made that's what made it unique. That's what made it stand out. That is not the case by the end of the series because everyone's talking in that casual asshole-ish manner. Everyone's talking in vulgarities. Everyone's saying shit and fucking all this other stuff. When Slim,
I've actually been trying to find a word to describe what you're saying because that's happening a lot in modern entertainment now, where everyone's just.
Can you take over the stream for a second? An emergency just came up. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
Okay. Well.
But here's the thing, though. Where the heck happened to that his minion Fly Eyes or whatever? I mean, you only saw him in that one episode where he's talking of why are we rebuilding the city when you destroyed it pretty much. It's like, where the hell happened to him? We never saw him
he wasn't. He wasn't. I mean, he was important for Isaac for his journey of self-discovery. Rediscovery. But it wasn't like he was necessary for the story's plot with Isaac. He was more necessary for the character of Isaac. So, once his role is done, you can tuck him away. Because what he was kind of there for was to show that Isaac's motivations and his philosophy in life has really changed.
Oh, because
so, in a way, the Athenian is a plot device, or I should say, not a plot device, a character device.
Huh. Well, for the way I looked at it is that since he was sort of built like maybe his confidant or advisor, it was like I thought he would be, around for when they go assault Carmilla's castle. And I
yeah.
thought
Well,
that,
I assumed that he was probably there, or he was probably left to watch over the city while Isaac was away.
Probably, but too bad they ignored that part, like so many other things. But at least there was something I can smile about. Even though he didn't deliver the killing blow, my boy Isaac got to kill.
Wait. Let's wait for Slim to be around when we get to that one. That's
Damn it, Slim, hurry up!
Yeah. I have to say though, yes, Isaac. When he did get to that place, oh man, it was. That's why I just. Man, I wish that they would have made Isaac his own series before I lost all confidence in their ability to make stuff that's good, because I could, watch that guy take on any foe, and I would, with bated breath, I couldn't wait for all like the talks on philosophy, humanity, and I mean, because Isaac has, even with his philosophy before, just everything that he has done has been consistent with his character, and even with his changing of outlooks on life. And it's like no matter what kind of philosophical mindset he has, I would love to see it up against any other person's. It would be so cool.
Oh, I agree, but it's already bad enough that they already considering of let's do how many spin-offs or whatever. It's like, okay, guys, you're not Disney with the Star Wars franchise making stupid spin-offs or whatever to things we don't care about.
Oh yeah. I agree. There's too many spin-offs, but I will say I do think that Isaac is strong enough of a character where if you put him in the hands of competent creators, I do believe he could hold his own series. Oh,
are we at that part of the stream where we're just ranting about Star Wars again?
No, we were still talking about Castlevania.
No, he was talking about the like the spin-offs of Star Wars, because
I was about to say my channel has matured from that. I do not rant about. I do not go into 20-minute long rants about Star Wars anymore. That's old Slim. I'm new Slim.
No,
Slim, you were talking when you left. You were talking about the whole everybody was becoming Trevor thing, and everyone was being very sarcastic, asshole-ish and stuff. And I was just going to mention this, and this is when you cut off. I was saying that I've been trying to find a way to term this kind of stuff, because you're starting to see it in a lot of entertainment nowadays. And I've been trying to figure out how to describe it. And unfortunately, the place where I think that it became really popular, that I put my finger on, that I do enjoy this film, but I think ever since this, this has been a style that has overstayed its welcome. It's like the Guardians of the Galaxy. Everything, no matter the situation, sarcastic, got to crack a joke, got to make it lighthearted, can't have a single moment where you breathe. And that's how these characters feel.
Well, you see, here's the thing. Even then, that's not really fair to Guardians of the Galaxy, because Guardians of the Galaxy, it's about a bunch of different, extremely different but very quirky characters coming together, etc. I think more along with the lines of what you're thinking is a style of writing that I agree. I do see this a lot, honestly, and it's this idea that if a character, it's idea of what I like to call, I don't know if it's an actual term or not, but I call it making a hollow character. Essentially, they can do whatever they want, say whatever they want, and act however they want, because the writer wants them to. I saw this in an example, She-Ra. Like I said, I've told everyone this. I've only saw the first season of the show, and I could tell it was already done by terrible writers, because at the very end of the day, these are characters who could do or say anything at any given moment, and it would not matter because they don't have strong characterization, and they're made to be purposefully either like again very either vapid or shallow or myopic and all these other things. But the thing is, people always write that off as being as them quote unquote being human. I understand the whole being human aspect of it, having flaws and stuff, but you have to realize that a character who is just who is essentially just an extension of you and your and let's be real here, and again these traits that you're just voicing into these characters without proper understanding of yourself or the character itself, it's just going to get again be a very shallow, vapid mess. And I think that's what I kind of get from Castlevania. These characters are so shallow, or at least have become so shallow that you can have them do or say whatever the hell they want.
Mm-hmm.
So like we had Trevor in the first season, who first two seasons was implied. Okay, there's something more to Trevor. He has literally not developed well because all this shit that happened to him in the Belmont name happened to him when he was a teenager. Now he's a grown man and he's kind of emotionally stunted. Okay, but in season 3 and especially in season 4, he's just kind of a dumb brute who kind of likes weapons, and yeah, it doesn't go any deeper than that. It never does. It's very shallow. The same thing with Cypher. The same thing with Alucard. The same thing. The only character who hasn't become shallow is Isaac, because he was
and ironically, you don't go very much into his backstory compared to all those other characters.
Yep, he's just a man of his ideals, and they get challenged across his journey, and he grows and changes from that. That's all you need. That's all you fucking need. It's like there was one guy. There was one guy in the entirety of the show, and was like, "You handle Isaac's story," and he's like, "Okay, cool. How much am I getting? You're not getting a lot, but I just need somebody to handle Isaac's story because, you know, you're the guy who gets the donuts. You're not really important, so you handle it." And that one guy went out of his way to write the best part of Castlevania because nobody gave a shit about what he was writing.
That one guy was probably like, "Well, shit, I better prove myself then."
Hey, but let's talk about the greatest thing that ever happened with Isaac's story. Even though he wasn't the one to deliver the death blow, he got to kill, or at least try kill, Carmilla. They did my boy good for that.
God. Thank you, Isaac. Because here's the thing: if she did not do away with herself, you know that Isaac was gonna fuck her up. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it was. The entire time that I'm watching that scene, I'm just cheering for Isaac. Oh God, that's another one good thing this season did. You had me very excited with the idea that Isaac was gonna do away with the character that I probably hated the most.
I think it's the character that.
This one, go ahead.
No, I'm about to say, like, the thing about it was what I really couldn't stand, and I always hated Carmilla. I hated her in season 2 because they put so much attention on her, but her plan was fucking stupid and didn't make a whole lot of sense in the grand scheme. And then season 3, they tried to promote her as some kind of. They even admitted that her plans were stupid and that they always had to struggle to make them work. That she was the quote unquote dreamer of the team. Like, you couldn't even call her the brains. You guys weren't even honest with yourself enough to say she's the brains. No, you outright said she's the quote unquote dreamer. You actually make all her plans work. Her plans are stupid. And as far as I know, none of them have worked. She's Eddie from Ed, Edd and Eddy, just constantly plotting schemes. And she just keeps failing.
Oh my God, that is the perfect description.
And then when they when they got to season 4, what kind of pissed me off. One point, I was like, okay, what are they gonna do with Carmilla now? Because they kind of did push her to the side in season 3. I was complaining, but they didn't push her to the side in season 3. And Carmilla uh basically said, I want the world, I want to take everything, and it's because everything was taken away from me because
Oh
they were taken by
God.
men, and I was like, you are
When
not
they
going to
Yeah.
try
tried,
to make her sympathetic. Fuck you if
yeah,
you try to
I
make
was
her
just about to
sympathetic.
say when they tried to make her the sympathetic villain. Oh my God.
I was like, what the hell are you doing? And then like, here's the worst part about it though. She says, "Oh well, it was a council of vampires, and they were all men. They didn't care about women. It was a sexist thing." Uh, uh, sweetheart, did you watch season 2? There were like 3 vampire women who were on the count who were like high ranking council vampires. Literally, season 3 had
Let's also not
a
forget.
Chinese fucking vampire who was stated to be extremely powerful and wide-reaching and influential. You cannot pull the sexism card. That is bullshit.
Actually, I think she was Japanese because remember the two characters you
Yeah, she
mentioned
was
are from
Japanese.
yeah.
Oh
But
my bad. I
but I
didn't.
mean
But I
I'm
get
sorry.
the point still stands. But also it just let's also remember that half of Dracula's foot soldiers, as well as most of her own foot soldiers, are all female.
Yeah, like I did. Like it's just it was so fucking dumb. I was like, they actually sat down and wrote this. Her last words were essentially, "I'm a queen." That's what her last words. They really tried. I was like, "Are you serious? What the fuck have you done? What have you done successfully? It would be okay if you had a few dubs under your belt, but you have literally failed. You failed at everything. Shut the fuck up. You are an idiot. You are an imbecile." And that's one of the things I hate. This is one of the biggest pet peeves I have in writing. When you write a character who's a complete moron, but you make everyone in the show, make everyone around them believe they're genuinely intelligent. I can't stand that shit. I hate that shit. I hate it so fucking much because they keep trying to make her seem like she's intelligent. She's not. She's an imbecile. It has nothing to do with her gender, nothing to do with that bullshit. It is the fact if she was a male character, I would say the same thing because I even said I didn't even like Godbrand. He was basically the male version of Carmilla in season 2. I said the same thing. I thought Godbrand was fucking dumb too. But
Hey,
here's the thing.
hey! Wait a minute. But Godbrand
Uh-oh.
did give us that badass kill with Isaac.
Yeah, of course, but still, my point still stands. That has nothing to do with it. It has everything to do with the fact that you have, and then like you made those other 2 female vampires whose literally only personality trait is we're a gay couple. Like that's all they did. I know no, I know one of them like deals with like the financial stuff, and one of them is like an actual soldier, and like that's all I know about them. That's all I know about them. They don't explore any other facets of their character outside of we're a gay couple.
And
Like,
that and also the soldier, female soldier wears an armor that reminds you of Berserker. It's like,
yeah,
yes, Netflix, we know you want to do Berserk, but no one of the Berserk community wants you to do it because you would butcher the hell out of it.
yeah, like you're like I don't no, just don't touch Berserk, please don't. Uh, God. Um,
Hi,
yeah,
my name is Ryan Johnson. I heard that Berserk was available.
Oh
no,
God,
no,
please don't
no,
do that. Don't do
no.
that.
And they like plus they would let's be real here. They wouldn't pull off all the more how to put this intense
It
scenes from the rape scenes. They wouldn't put the rape scenes in there. Fine, I fucking said they wouldn't put the rape scenes in there because for those of you who don't know, there's a lot of rape in Berserk. Like an uneasy amount of rape
yeah.
in the story. It's unfathomable. Fuck. Unfathomable. There we go. There we go. But yeah. Yeah, I remember I watched that and she's like wearing the armor and I'm like, So you guys are just ripping off Berserk now. And the best part about it was she was just killing farmers. She wasn't fighting demons. She wasn't fighting demons or other knights. She was killing farmers, so it didn't come off as awesome or badass. You're just a regular, super powerful vampire fighting against farmers. Not even demons or other vampires, some shit. Like, like I said, man. Also something else I want to point out: the action at this point just became white noise because
Yeah.
when you have an action scene without really any stakes or investment in the characters, it's just a flashy light show. That's kind of what I had with season 3 too. I just genuinely stopped caring. And then it also doesn't help when you're so inconsistent with how many people are actually getting slaughtered. Because at first you say, oh, well, it's a small town of people, but you also have enough to make a giant sacrificing ritual thing, and there's enough to fill up the castle too. Like, which is it? Like, it doesn't make any goddamn sense. Like, they are really inconsistent with that shit. They are unbelievably...
Slim. Shut up, sit down, and consume.
I refuse to consume. I wish to criticize. I wish to criticize. That's gonna be like fucking Hunger Games when everybody's saying, "Who dares challenge our next superhero film?" I dare to criticize. I will fucking tell you that to your face that your movie sucks. What was I talking about? Right. Yeah, you have the two vampire ladies who are supposed to feel sympathetic for, even though they killed innocent farmers, was going out of their way to kill. Yeah, they're bad guys, but since they're gay, they're good guys. Like, again, these people have, like, you can't, like, when you make Dracula sympathetic, you're still not rooting for him, but you at least side with him. You understand why he's doing it and how it's and why he's doing all the shit. This one's like, you should, like, ignore the fact that they're blood-sucking parasites trying to take over humanity. They're gay, and you should like them for being gay. You should like them for that.
And you know what's bad?
Nah, you go ahead.
And you know also what's baffling for when it comes to these two characters? It's like, besides the one action sequence, they're hardly ever in this season.
Yeah,
I mean, seriously, you only see them talking, action sequence, and they're like, "Oh, hey, our house is being destroyed. Well, let's go fuck off somewhere else." It's like,
yeah, like, well, Lenore's probably dead and Carmilla's gone. Let's just go somewhere else. And I'm just like, wait, what? I don't. What? You just say, oh, well, we're just gonna go somewhere else, and it's like, you guys literally are just gonna fuck off. Okay, cool. I didn't care about you anyway. I genuinely don't even know your fucking name. Like, that is something Castlevania season, like has always had a problem with. They introduced so many of these new characters without even, like I said in season 2. That was our first podcast about this. We said season 2, the biggest problem was they focused so much on the new characters that established the old ones. And that's been consistent throughout the last 2 seasons after that.
oh yes. And speaking of
And
which,
once again, I just have to say, consume product. Why are you, Slim? Why are you thinking? Why are you using your brain? This isn't how this is supposed to work. You're just supposed to buy.
I mean, I don't know, man. I like at this point, like you said earlier, I'm not really excited for anything because everything just kind of sucks now, and that makes me sad. Oh no, no! We're not doing this today. Nope.
And you also know what makes me laugh about with the whole Camilla's side plot is that for when it comes to the final episode, for when you see Hector and Lenore talking, she commits suicide or whatever, it's like, I'm supposed to feel sorry for this character's death. It's like, besides she literally fucked with Hector's mind, she hardly did do anything. So why should I feel sorry for a character dying?
Are you talking about Lenore?
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Oh,
again,
yeah, I gotta. Yeah, that's the biggest problem. it feels like, and I don't know how to explain it, but I can just feel like whoever was writing that scene was like, "Oh, this is going to be such a tearjerker." And it's like, no, you can't do that. You have to earn those kinds of scenes. You don't get to just decide to just throw it in there whenever you want. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt and butt in, but that was the other, because there was another scene. Oh God, we'll get to that. There was another scene in here in which they thought, something epic or emotional was happening, and you could just feel the writer going, "Oh, this is so good. This is so emotional." It's like you don't get to decide when emotions get inserted into whichever scene you like. You have to actually write them to that point. You have to actually earn them. You don't get to just this. I'm sorry. Oh, go ahead.
Now I'm about to say, like, here's the thing. Like, again, context. Lenore made Hector a slave, abused him, tortured him, made him a slave, forced her to work for him, and all they really did was and like they try to write it off like, oh, they were this cute couple that really did love each other. No, not only did you guys know each other for like a month, by the way, but there was no indication that it was ever anything genuine about it. You called Hector your pet. You guys, it's like what they tried to do it's like they tried to do with Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey. At the end of the day, one cannot work with the other. You can't say, oh, the relationship's abusive, but in Suicide Squad you try to portray it as genuine. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't work. It doesn't gel well. This is the same thing here. You can't say Lenore actually did care for Hector when that's not the case in season 3. The entire point was that she was a manipulator and that she kind of saw Hector as a pet. Now, we have this relationship for there. I remember watching this. I remember something in season 4 that I remember vividly is that at the end of the day, there's a lot of talking about nothing. There is so much talking about nothing. There's so much. There's like I remember when they first saw Lenore and Hector, they are literally talking about how bored she is. They spend 5 minutes on how bored she is. I am not exaggerating.
That's what they're doing. Come on, Slim. This is addressing millennial problems. This is some solid stuff.
No,
just consume product.
And also writers of Castlevania, if you ever listen to this, just because you have the title of your story and then have them say it in the episode, that doesn't make it clever. It doesn't automatically make it clever. Please stop doing that.
What's the joke from Family Guy?
He said it. He said the thing.
He said it.
That is. I gotta disarm all these nuclear warheads to make sure so I can become Superman 4. The quest for peace. He said the thing. He said it.
Oh well, you now kind of base it off of that. You remember how I said in the season 3 stream that we talked about that I said, what's to stop it from Hector cutting off his finger that has that possession ring or whatever on him?
That's exactly what he fucking
does. Once they showed that scene, I literally busted my gut laughing, going like, oh my god, they fucking did the thing I said. I don't care if they heard me say, I don't care if they did that out of their own minds or they may have heard that stream. I call it dibs of saying, hey, I called it.
Again, fuck you, I was right, fuck you, I was right, fuck you, I was right. Anyway, here's another thing I find extremely weird is that they literally gave Trevor a Deus Ex Machina. They literally thought that, oh well, he's collecting parts for a weapon in the background of a few scenes.
Oh wait. Let's hold off on the Trevor thing.
I'm not gonna go deeper into that. I'm just saying, like, they legitimately tried to build it up as this grand thing, and I'm just like, the fuck did that come from? Like, was that what he was built? Like, so you're telling me this situation that he specifically needed this item for was dedicated literally one scene where he's picking up stuff in the background, and that's what saves the day. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, are you kidding? Can you hear yourselves right now? Like, what the fuck am I watching?
That's them trying to be clever.
It wasn't clever. It's I wouldn't even call it foreshadowing. It was literally random background events, and it said, "Oh, these things just so happen to make this super powerful knife that we need specifically for this situation." And I'm just
Gosh,
like,
there was a word I came up with it when I was watching it, but I didn't know what it was. It was
contrived.
they no what oh yeah the MacGuffin blade.
That's the MacGuffin blade. The MacGuffin blade. I love it. Oh my god, the MacGuffin blade only shows up when plot convenience is really, really up your ass. You need,
And actually, that has the same fucking problem that a surprise character has.
Let's save that one a little bit.
As you can tell, I'm very angry about something.
You sound like a bull having a dude. You sound like a bull having an orgasm.
Well, I'm sorry. There's nothing pleasurable about this, though. But yes, okay. I'll hint that I am very, very unhappy about a certain element in this show, which we will get to later on. But please continue. I did not mean to interrupt, but I just wanted to share that I came up with the name for that thing because it was bugging me so much.
Yeah, I kind of thought the same thing. Like, what the actual fuck? Like, they actually wrote, and Joe and like fucking Angry Joe gave season 4 of this show a 10 out of 10.
Well, there's a reason why he did, Slim, and it's because if anything is semi-woke at all, Angry Joe gives it a glowing review.
I wouldn't say that. I would say that Joe is what I like to call a guy who goes in head first, and because he does that, he just unless you like explain it to him in further context and give him a little space to nuance and stuff, because he even openly admitted he wanted to like Last of Us Part 2. He ended up giving it a 7 on gameplay alone, which I guess is fair, but he said like the story was absolute dog shit, and that's what made it. That's why he gave it basically a perfect 10. That's why I gave it like the original Last of Us perfect 10 because the story was so good, even though I thought the story was okay. But whatever, that's understandable. But he said Last Part 2, he genuinely could not. No matter how much he wanted to like it, he genuinely thought the story was shit. So, like I said, I could give him a little leeway at times, but yeah, there's definitely some times where he's just a straight up nose diving idiot. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That being said, I also want to talk about something else that I understand. Remember how season 3 painstakingly went out of their way to make to show fucking Alucard was having trouble trusting humans again, didn't want anything to do with humanity, and all that shit. One month later, and he's over it. He's like,
yeah, I was gonna
all
say,
that bullshit. I'm like,
he recovers quickly.
Over the he's over it. Like he has no problem saving people. He has no problem letting them into the castle. He needs so little convincing.
Yeah, those bodies he staked are just now decomposing. not to
mention that he when he talks, it's supposed to be a huge, super traumatizing event. He's talking to his new girlfriend, and she's like, "Wow, that must have been very interesting." It's a Sunday afternoon conversation. I'm like, that was a traumatizing event for you. Why are you so nonchalant about it?
Well, you see, Slim. Instead of addressing that and putting effort into trying to explore how someone would feel about killing people because he was betrayed, and then coming to terms that maybe not everybody is bad, it's a lot easier to just say, "Oh yeah, I kind of got over it."
Yeah, because I like I was like you both know how much I hated Alucard. I think like Alucard's was handled the worst in season three. I think we all agree Alucard.
That was the
Oh
worst
yeah,
part of
oh
season
yeah,
three. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
awful.
It,
But like and like I said, how are you going to capitalize on that? Because that is that's such a drastic left turn in the direction. Oh, here's how you do it. You completely ignore it. You pretty much pretend it doesn't happen. It never happened.
Yeah,
Like a lot of
that was
like
essentially my point.
yeah like like I said, with almost every other plot point in the show, they all pretend like almost nothing happened. Like almost everything that's brought for season three is dropped in season four. Every single plot line is dropped except Saint Germain's, which is taking a complete 180 nosedive out of nowhere. So
Yeah.
there's like
yeah.
What the worst part is it also takes away from whatever good stuff's in season three because they just since everything is abandoned, then most things are just well they just they're meaningless now. So now it makes season three even worse.
yeah, and like I said, I still think season three was the worst, and I still don't like season three. But you could have done something with. It's not like here I go again talking about Star Wars, but it's kind of like in it's not like in the Last Jedi where he just drops where it's not like in the Last Jedi where he just drops a lot of stuff that JJ set up. It says they didn't mean anything. It didn't go anywhere. And like they said in the Red Letter Media review is that at the end of the day, the Last Jedi meant nothing. Ultimately, it meant nothing in the grand scheme of things. But and that's kind of the vibe I get from season. And it's not really the vibe I get from season three because season three actually set stuff up. It didn't just say
Mm-hmm.
this didn't matter, this didn't matter, this didn't matter, this didn't matter. It's bad. I still think it's the worst season, but it did set stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
But when a lazy writer is caught between a rock and a hard place, look at Rick and Morty, look at Steven Universe. When a show is caught between a rock and a hard place, you know what they do? They either a rewrite characters or they completely rewrite characters and they completely drop plot points and pretend they either didn't exist or didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. That is what they did with season 4 of Castlevania.
And
They kind
also,
of said they rewrote so many characters and they made so many plot points from season 3 pointless because they realized how poorly they optimized them in season 3.
and also,
Here's another issue that we're bumping into with just entertainment in general. Now that when you're caught in the middle of bad of like a bad season, instead of trying to fix things up, you're starting to see writers almost seemingly out of spite double down on the things that people didn't like.
uh,
I mean, like sometimes that can be the case, but I think honestly, it's more like I said, it's more of I think the best way to describe it is they're admitting defeat. They admit, okay, we tried to again. Let me give you an example. I'm sorry for the examples today, but where'd Dayton go?
Oh, I don't know.
I hope he comes back. But there he is. But you like in Rick and Morty season 3, uh they kind of they basically like try to build up, Beth's entire character arc in season 3, but they realized that they made her such a cunt and so unlikable and so uninteresting that they finally decided to they again pulled the ultimate taboo. They made her a completely different character. I don't know. I still don't know if she's a clone or not, but or just wiped her mind. I think she's a clone. Because I stopped giving a shit about Rick and Morty. Season 3 of Rick and Morty was so bad that I just kind of dropped it. But
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not sure if she's a clone. But basically, they completely rewrote her character, and then she got back together with Jerry, which was the entire point of season 3. Like that was the big core drama of it, and like they're trying to like have people adapt to change just to go back to the status quo. So everything in season 3 was essentially pointless. It didn't accumulate to anything. Nobody learned. Nobody learned anything. Nobody grew. Nothing changed. It was all just to get back to the status quo at the very end of the day. And that legitimately pissed me off. I was like, that was terrible. This whole season, like, there was only 2 good episodes. This whole season was terrible. I don't know what the. I can't find this. I can't think of a single decent thing from season. I don't think of 2 good episodes in season 3 of Rick and Morty. And like shit like that is what happens when you bring in hack writers who don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Hmm.
That's all. That's all I gotta say about that.
Well, seeing as how this ties into what Salem wants to talk about, I would think now is the appropriate time to discuss the Cypher Trevor storyline along with the surprise villain.
Oh yeah, the Cypher. The Cypher Trevor storyline. The same thing as the third season, where they're largely in the background, not really doing jack shit until the very last minute, and then all of a sudden they're the main characters. Like,
Okay,
what
I
the
want everyone to
actual
imagine.
fuck?
I want everyone
Hell,
to imagine. I'm going to crack my spine, crack my neck, crack my knuckles. I'm ready to go.
I just want to say one. I just want to say one thing. Except, unlike the third season, this is somehow worse because there's literally this entire thing about a conspiracy in the royal family and not doing anything and all this other bullshit. But guess what? Unlike season 3, where Saint Germain was kind of involved and they kind of involved Saint Germain and that kind of side of the story, this one literally went nowhere. There was like nowhere. It had no purpose in the story. It didn't tie into anything at all. It was like they spent the entire, the ironic, and it was kind of like they even were aware of the criticism of season 3, where it's like, we need to stop being characters in somebody else's story. But you did it, and it's even worse now because it has nothing to do with your story at all, except, oh, the royal family had a magic mirror, and they want the magic mirror, and that's it.
Just a little fun trivia. Just a little fun trivia. I'm sure she won't mention this, but one of my friends I talked to, because we're talking about the magic mirror and royal family. Let's talk just a quick little mention. Let's talk about the character who's guarding that royal family.
Oh, the weird chick.
Yes, I told a friend of mine, who I think Slim might know who I'm talking about. Well, I don't think that she would be upset if I mentioned her name, but essentially, I was telling my friend Omen about how horrible season 4 was, and I even said the character designs were awful. And I sent her a picture of a guard from Eastern Europe that somehow looks like this. And Owen's response, I forgot what it exactly was, but it was essentially along the lines of, who the fuck self-insert character is this?
Yeah, like, you notice a lot of characters look like that. Even the 2 twins from the last season kind of looked like a lot of the characters in this season. Now, like, okay, first of all, like I said, and I'm just pointing this out because this is something like just some guy did a really good video on this too. But there weren't this many brown people in Europe at this time. If we want to be real here, there was not this many. And I'm black, by the way. I'm black as the ace of spades, so you can't call me racist. So don't try it. But my point is, there weren't this many. You tried so hard to like have this to have so many dark skinned and all these like people who look like they're from the Middle East and Africa. I'm just like, what are they doing in far northwestern Europe?
This is especially distracting considering the fact that this is the very first city that you see in the whole series. And I'm just going to say this. When Dracula was killing everybody, when everyone was required to come out and kiss the bishop's ass, I'm just saying, that city had only Eastern Europeans in it. and somehow I guess none of the other people of other ethnicities were out there during that slaughter. And so it's distracting that like the one village that Alucard comes across, it's like they even say something like, we all came from all over the world and, we were, put out here. It's like, oh, okay, I guess I can buy it. But here it's like, we've seen this city, we've seen the inhabitants. This does not look like the same city.
Man, no, like it just does not. It does not make any goddamn sense. And
no, it doesn't.
But I tell you what, when I was told that by Omen, I cracked the fuck up because it's like, holy shit!
It really was.
I guarantee you, there's somebody on the staff that it looks just like that, and they were like, "Hey, we'll turn you into character." It's like, look, maybe as a modern character that would work, but when you're doing a medieval thing, it's like, I mean, it's the same thing with like, I think I was watching Razorfist stream with the Star Wars Squadron or whatever game, the one with the ships. And he pointed this out, and now I can never play that game because it is so world breaking. He's like, yes, miss, you totally have an imperial authorized haircut. And it was that thing where it's like both her head was shaved on both sides. It's like, holy shit, the Empire would never allow that haircut in a faction that is so uniform. And so when I'm watching Castlevania,
they would never do that.
He's like, oh, I'm captain of the guard or whatever. It's like, there is no fucking way that you're in a position of authority and you're allowed to be that casual with your look.
There's no way I could. There's no way I would take her seriously. It's like with Captain Purple Hair from Last Jedi. It's like, if you wear a dress or something that's not a traditional uniform, no one's going to take you seriously.
Yeah, I mean, like, here's the thing. Like nowadays we're starting to allow that stuff. We're starting to allow people tattoos or different haircuts and stuff to take positions of authority. But back then, especially, you had to be lockstep and in line in order to get to those positions.
Well,
so it's
here's what I'm trying to say. Like, it wasn't even like like Haldo with the whole dress thing. It was just a dress like the dress did not, and her dress and her design did not signify commander officer. Because you got to remember, Mon Mothma in the OT was one of the leaders of the Republic. I mean, the rebellion, and she wore like a flowing dress, but she like came off with authority. It was a white dress. She had her hair balled up, and it was kind of like, okay, no, I think it was either short or bald or tied up, and it was she felt like she was somebody with authority. It didn't feel like she was on her way to a fashion show. It felt like she had a place of authority. Same thing with Leia. She had a dress in the first movie.
In episode 4.
Yeah, in episode 4, the first movie. But even then, like, it was made clear that she was captured in it, and the minute she gets a chance, she completely changes her outfit to be more practical.
Yeah, so, go to episode 5. She's already in the same attire everyone else is in because you got to keep warm and at Hoth.
And sure, she wears a dress in Bespin, but then by season 3, not season 3, what the fuck? By episode 6, she's wearing military gear after she gets out of the slave outfit.
Somebody pointed this out to me. Is that in Star Wars women don't have bras, and then you realize, holy shit, Carrie Fisher, you can see some things in that dress if you look closely. And I'm just like, I cannot unsee that. God damn it.
Okay, well, I got a sidetracked on the dress, but since we had brought up the whole royal family stuff, I was like, oh shit, I gotta mention that. And it was just because once Omen said that, who the fuck self-insert character is this? I'm like, oh my god, I can't unsee it now.
Ask him, and if she ever wants to be on the podcast. I need more. I need more. I need more. I need more international cred. I got nothing but filthy red-blooded Americans on this
Well,
stream.
to be fair, I mean, I drink enough where I could be considered an Irishman.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, I want the.
I know. Cultural appropriation.
Wait a minute, Salem. Do you have like Irish descent? Do you know? Did you like look up your ancestry?
Yes, I'm a mutt, but yes, one of my main things is Irish. Mostly Eastern European, though.
Cool. I'm.
Which, oh my god, I can totally claim oppression, since they didn't include more Eastern Europeans in Castlevania. Woo-hoo!
You guys won't believe. You guys won't believe this. A large portion of my DNA is African American. I know, right? It's weird.
Oh god, that's more shocking when Uncle Ruckus found out he was 102% African.
That was still amazing.
I love the Boondocks. Just throwing that out there.
I think we're skirting around.
I'm sorry. The thing that pissed me off the more. Does anybody want to start this, or shall I just begin?
Salem, get it off. Let Salem get it off his chest. He's been holding it in all day.
Yes. Let the whiskey vampire take it.
Okay. So, episode 1 of this season, almost the very beginning of the episode 2, we are going to a shrine that has a statue on it, and we learn that the statue is made in dedication to Death, who, for those who play Castlevania, the games, oh, cool, so we're going in this direction. All right. Can anybody in the stream here tell me how many times until the last episode Death will be mentioned by just, instead of the mere, it's a statue to Death?
Yeah, they. That's,
can anybody tell me?
The characters referencing like how they're gonna die count, or that's not?
No.
Okay, then.
So. Oh boy. So this character that is just mentioned with a statue and one sentence turns out to be the main baddie all along.
Well, here's Salem. Let me explain something. That's not really my problem. My problem is that nothing that Death does. It like first of all, how dare you waste Malcolm McDowell?
He comes out of nowhere, and then, here's the worst crime, ladies and gentlemen. Guess who he is voiced by?
Yeah, Malcolm fucking McDowell.
Malcolm fucking
McDowell. And guess how Death speaks? Because Death looks very dignified. He wears lavish and jeweled fucking attire. He looks like a fucking warlord. He looks badass. And he's voiced by Malcolm McDowell, so he sounds badass. Can you guess the level of his fucking vocabulary?
He sounds like
an edgy 12-year-old.
Yes, he's like, fuck you, fuck this, fuck that. Oh, I'm gonna skull fuck you. Get it? I got a skull. It's like, holy fucking shit. You got one of, even outside of Castlevania, one of the most iconic figures in all of fiction and reality, Death. And you make him sound like a 10-year-old who just learned what the word fuck is.
He sounds like a character from a Zack Snyder film.
And then one last thing. And then he just mentions just very briefly, oh yeah, I was the biggest on Dracula's court. Who the fuck were you?
Backtooth said, "Fuck death. Me and
Uh-oh.
my homies hate death."
I think it broke Salem.
But here's the funny thing about it. Like here's the even funnier thing. At the end of the day, his plan doesn't even make a whole lot of sense. Like, think about it. The entire goal of death is to make sure that he doesn't ever starve again. So that's why he wants to resurrect Dracula so he can literally wipe out all life on the planet, essentially.
He runs into the same problem the Vampire Sisters did.
But here's the thing. Death, buddy, you would starve to death. I mean,
yeah, that's why I was bringing up with the whole sisters thing. It's like, okay, so you're gonna catch all the humans. What afterwards? Because you can't.
And then all the vampires. Or maybe if Dracula was really gonna wipe out all life on the planet itself, then you would literally starve for all eternity.
Yeah, oh god. And then I gotta bring up another thing too, because this pissed me off. Because in season 3, that was the one shred of hope I had, was that they were gonna bring Dracula back. They build up again from the very first episode of the season that it's all revolving around, we gotta stop them from bringing Dracula back. And they get brought back, and Death is the one who's trying to oversee it, and it is bad. It is so fucking bad because they just waste the opportunity to bring Dracula back, because we're going to bring him back with his wife in an androgynous body, and oh my god, it's going to bring about the end of the world or some shit. It's like, why did you overcomplicate it? You could have just brought Dracula back. We all would have been happy because everyone agrees he was the best part of the first 2 seasons.
What here's like I said, but after season 2, it feels like it was written by the show was written by completely different people. Like it really does feel like season 3 onward, it felt like written by completely different people who didn't know what the fuck they were doing. My thing about Death is, and like I said, it's not only that his plan doesn't make any sense, he's so inconsistent. Like he says, well, I really couldn't interfere directly. Why not? I mean, you literally fight.
But he interfered directly twice as the character that Saint Germain comes across, and as the British vampire.
Yeah, like that's what I was talking about. Not only that, but like here's the thing. Like here's another thing that doesn't make any goddamn sense. Why would Saint Germain just say and then there's Saint Germain just becomes a villain out of nowhere, like a cold, heartless, ruthless villain out of nowhere, by the way, all because literally he has everything to help find his true love or whatever, and I don't give 2 iotas of a shit who his true love is.
I guess that's what happens when you become a simp.
Oh yeah, and just gotta say, guys, hiding his lover's face, really building up that he meant so much that she meant so much to him, just building up, like keeping her in the shadows, you can't see her, it's like people start speculating, who is she? And it's like,
you just show her, and then, no, you just have a flashback where it shows, she's just some random chick. Like, that's really all it is. As far as I know, she's just some fucking random chick. I don't know who the fuck she is. And honest to God, you kept him. Hold on. In season 3, you kept him in so much mystery and ambiguity about what he wanted and what he tried to do. This twist of him suddenly becoming the villain has no impact, because honest to God, the only thing I knew about him was he was a good guy in season 3. I knew almost nothing else about him outside of, because you kept everything else so ambiguous. But now that he's back, he's suddenly evil. It's jarring, but I'm not super shocked because I'm not invested in this character, because you didn't really do anything with this character in season 3. You know what this character did? He couldn't. You know what this character's greatest, and I mean greatest obstacle in season 3. Saint Germain's greatest obstacle in season 3. His greatest obstacle was getting down some goddamn stairs. He couldn't get down the goddamn stairs, and that was his biggest obstacle in season 3. Are you fucking kidding me?
Hey man. Those Satanists, they were, they were not, they They expected him to have well-behaved manners. I'm just saying, good manners they're hard to maintain. You know, I mean, God.
There were so many times. And they even showed it once the whole portal thing was revealed. They showed how easy it was to go down there, but they spent
I was trying to make a joke. I wasn't being serious.
I know. I get the joke. I'm just saying I am being serious about this. They make it clear how fucking easy it was to get down there. They didn't make it a big trivial thing. He could have just snuck down there anytime, but they spent 5 episodes giving excuses as to why he can't sneak down there.
Yeah, you could have. That would have been a perfect setup for a Trevor joke too. What's down? It's downstairs. Well, downstairs. I don't know. I haven't been down there. Why haven't you been down there? Well, they told me not to. Oh, you're fucking serious right now.
Oh my god. That is what.
Hire me. I know Trevor better than you fuckers, and you wrote him.
Yeah, like.
Here's something too. So what we're talking about, it's all placed there just for the convenience of this one last battle. A battle with a villain that we've only been introduced to very briefly, has done fuck all, has a plan that has no logical or interesting motivation to it, and it's supposed to be swelling with emotion, and Trevor pulls out the MacGuffin blade. It's supposed to be epic, even though we don't know what the epicness of this blade is. And then we all get to the end, and the writers are like, yes, this is so amazing.
Like,
and the viewers are sitting there going, I could not give a fuck.
Yeah, like, they really tried to have, like, this big final confrontation with Death and Trevor, and he's like, it's about time we finally finish this once and for all. And he's like, so be it, Belmont. This is the first time you two fucking met!
Yeah, exactly! Oh, God, and then you gotta love this. You know, he's like, the whole hint's like, hey, Cypher, Trevor would definitely be a bad name. It's like, oh, my God, she's pregnant. Oh, my God.
I mean, like, if you do realize that Castlevania is basically like JoJo's, or it's the entire. Even I'm not even a big fan of the series, and I know like every other game is a different Belmont.
I know that. I know that. But what I'm saying is, like, you know, they try to tack that on to be even more like, oh my gosh, she's gonna die, even though she's got a child on the way. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, I don't give a fuck, because that came out of nowhere too. Just everything at the last minute comes out of fucking nowhere. And here's the thing, writers, you cannot get that huge emotional impact and payoff if you do not build up to it. You can't just grab this shit out of your ass and then expect us all to care just because the music says, you know, oh, you should be emotionally invested.
something really kind of ironic in the whole thing is that in the grand scheme of things, you have literally just like I said, I even left my train of thought. I can't get over the fact that Death was this no-name vampire guy who was, again, introduced out of nowhere, like you said.
Okay, well, I gotta just bring up one thing before you continue. I do have to say, as the series went on, I start to like him less. But in the very beginning, I was kind of digging this little loser vampire that was like, don't you know me? And everyone's like, no. And he's like, well, what the fuck? And he'd be like, I was number 1 in Dracula's court. And he's like, and yet you're here. And he didn't even call you. And like, you just see the realization on his face. He's like, oh shit.
He's like the toilinator of fucking from Kids
Next Door.
He said, hey guys, I made it to the barbecue. Weirdly enough, the invitation I got said go to Antarctica, and then I realized that wouldn't make any sense. It's like Mr. Boss every time. Oh, gee, it's the toiletator.
So yeah, I was kind of digging him at first, but by the mid to later half of the season, I was getting to the point where I was like, okay, it's getting kind of old now. What's your purpose here? And then when the purpose of him was revealed, I was like, oh no, he
Like,
should
I
have
was
just been
like,
his
I
own
was,
character. That would have at least worked.
when I saw that, I was like, you guys did not earn this. You guys didn't
No,
earn
not
this
No,
at
at
no,
all.
all.
they didn't.
What the fuck? What the? Who thought this was clever? I want to get behind the scenes, and I want to know who thought that making this guy who was a borderline comic relief character, let's be honest, and then making him fucking death. And even when he pretended to be that one woman in the wormhole world or whatever, she gave Saint Germain she whatever gave Saint Germain literally all the tools to find the woman of his dreams. And Saint Germain says, "Well," and she's like, "You need to make a philosopher's stone." I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, "Well, because you gotta dedicate yourself to alchemy." Why? Why?
Because
Like, you literally
Slim,
no
Slim,
no no
because
no 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 no
according to
no
the
Salem
according to the
Salem
according to the bullshit writer's guide, Rule 371 says.
Salem. Let me put this out here for you. She literally, like, Death. Your entire plan was you wanted to use him to make Philosopher's Stone so you can make this being that could actually control the vortex thing, which you don't really explain how that works, but whatever the fuck. Um, and you literally give him a key that goes anywhere. What's stopping him from literally going to every other? And it's implied that he can't age or whatever if he's a time traveler, whatever bullshit it is. But here's the thing: he can literally go to almost every. He knows what realm she's in. So you have the key that literally takes him to any realm he wants. Why doesn't he question? Hey, how come you won't tell me where she is? Because that's literally all he has to ask. He keeps saying, why do I have to learn alchemy? Why do I have to dedicate myself to alchemy? Why do I have to do all this shit? Instead of asking, how come you can't just tell me where she is? Why? I get it. Death wants him to make Philosopher's Stone or whatever, but it's not like it's kind of like Lenore in season 3 where she quote unquote convinces Hector. It's more along the lines of, how come you did not ask the basic questions of, how come you can't just take me to her? You have the power to do so. You can open any portal to any realm. You can control it. So you must have some idea where she is. Even if she didn't have any idea where she is, you gave him a key to any realm he wanted. He could look for all eternity, no problem. So it doesn't make your plan makes no sense, Death. It doesn't make any goddamn sense.
You're using too many brain cells. You need to pound a thing of whiskey, get all of them killed except for one, and then you return to this question, okay?
We map a just consume product. Oh, you also want to know.
But yeah, Slim, you're completely right. But the thing is, one of the biggest problems is that they add this complex plan, which when you tear it apart like you just did, you just find so many holes in it. But it's laid up upon so many other big ideas that they threw out there that each arc with each character essentially has, and they expect to fit all that shit into one little show. And that's the problem. They've thrown so much shit out there that it's like they will mention a plan or an idea or a concept that literally needs to be stretched out at least across a few episodes. Because,
yeah, like
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. I'm just like, at this point, honestly, there was the entire conflict of season 4 was basically a big bucket of coincidences, like a big number of contrived coincidence after contrived coincidence after contrived coincidence. Honest to God, everything Hector and Isaac and the vampire sorority sisters went through had nothing to do with the main plot. and we spent so much time on it.
That's why.
Almost
That's
like
kind of
like
why
literal.
I'm kind of feeling like Hector should. I mean, not Hector. Isaac especially should have gotten his own series because it's like start his own series when Dracula throws him out, and it's like then boom, then he doesn't even need to be addressed in the rest of Castlevania. He can focus on more so the main characters. And the same thing with the Vampire Sisters. It's like since they're going to have fuck all to do with the main plot, why not just do their own thing or just drop them? I don't know. I just that was the biggest problem is that we got 3 shows going on in one show.
Yeah, like I said, and honest to God, even Isaac going to kill Carmilla, it didn't really make any goddamn sense. Like, why was he so dedicated to killing Carmilla? They said, oh, it's because she's too ambitious and might get in the way. Bull fucking shit.
I think honestly, I could have read this incorrectly, but I honestly think it was one, he wanted to get to Hector. That was his big thing. But 2, I think I'm not sure if they explained this very well, but this was the impression I got. I may have just gotten this out of nowhere, so you'll have to remind me. But I think that he was just pissed because he knew that she betrayed Dracula, and Isaac is still, even though that his ideals may have changed, I think he still respects Dracula enough where he would have wanted to get revenge for him.
No, because he let Trevor go and is like, I don't care about that shit, man. I'm over that. He's like, I'm kind of over that now. I think he even said point blank, word for word, the reason I'm getting rid of you is because I think the world would be better off without you. I think you're a genuine threat, and I think you're too ambitious, so I'm going to get rid of you.
But that's the thing is I think that that motivation was unspoken.
I guess I don't know. I think he kind of got I think he was kind of fine. Did it everything he was kind of doing for himself at this point. But I think with the whole Carmilla thing, it was they really wanted her to be a big deal when she just wasn't. At this point,
I think the writers even reflected that because she kind of went out with a whimper too. So I think the writers were aware of the feedback. Like, this is the weakest point in your story.
No, they tried to make, like I said, they tried to make her sympathetic. They tried to make it seem when she went out with the blaze of glory, and it's like, she unironically says this is the actual dialogue. She says, "I am Carmilla. I am a queen," and I'm like,
"Oh yeah, yes, queen." but no, that's what I'm saying though. Is even though the writers put their all into trying to make her this huge thing, it feels like she was in there a lot less than season 3. So that's what I'm saying is it feels like they cut the amount of time that they gave her because they were aware. Oh shit, they're not buying this.
Yeah, she wasn't even in season 3. The more I think about it, she wasn't all that much in season 3 either.
Oh
yeah, she was. But
we had to make room for the two vampires that literally did nothing. Like we just discussed.
They have nothing. They have no remember again, She-Ra. There are literally 2 characters named Natessa and Spinnerella, who in the first season of the show are literally only mentioned near the end of the first season, and they even call them out you guys have literally just been side characters sitting at the end of the table for the entire season, and then they suddenly come and fight at the end when they pull their Avengers Assemble moment together. I'm just like, who are you again? They have no personality. I will give credit, at least they gave them somewhat personalities, but it's just gay couple. It's just gay couple. That's all it is. I'm just okay, but do you guys do anything else? No, we just
I'm about to I don't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry to stop you mid through, but I'm just giving you a heads up. I am about to DuckDuckGo something, and I'm going to start reading off as soon as I pull it up because I'm not sure how long I'll be able to keep this tab up. But let's just say that it's going to piss us all off. Don't worry, it is on subject. But please continue, Slim. I just wanted to give you a heads up.
Yeah, like I said, man, Like they don't have any personality outside of being lesbians. Like I remember I even called you out on this, Salem. I said this where they were talking about it. Like not only are we a vampire kingdom, we are a vampire kingdom run by women. I'm just like, no one talks like this. No one talks
Yeah,
like this. No
no,
one
I was
talks
saying
like
give it.
this.
I was saying give it. No, I was saying because I do remember defending it a little bit because I was saying, well, we're not going to see. We haven't seen more of them yet. Give them time. But it's like now that I know that this is what it amounted to, it's like that little thing that I said that goes out the window because
Okay.
they amounted to nothing.
Salem, you know what that means, right?
No, fuck you.
Fuck you, I was right.
Fuck you, I was right. Fuck you, I was right. Fuck you, I was right. Okay, I'm sorry. I will not do that for the next 20 minutes.
The part that I hate the most is that I love Razor Fist and his famous quote is being used against me.
Okay, since Salem was able to talk about his little rant about with the whole death thing, I want to talk about my little rant.
Okay, go on your rant, but then afterwards, I'm going to give you guys something to look forward to. I'm going to say it right now. I have just searched on the internet death quotes from Castlevania.
Okay.
Oh.
So,
and when we get to me, we are going to read these quotes, and you are all going to suffer with us.
Oh, God. Okay, I'm going to hurry up with this. Okay, you guys remember the vampire that was calling out death in disguise of saying, stop being a whiny little bitch boy or whatever, Ratko or whatever his name was, that was fighting against Trevor? Now, don't get me wrong. I thought that dude was excellent, but it was like, for when it came to the fight scene between Trevor and that vampire, it was like, writers, did you forget he had Belmont had the Morningstar whip? Why didn't he use that during the fight?
Yeah, that's what we like to call bad writing. Like, at least, there's a reason why Luke doesn't have his lightsaber in Return of the Jedi when he's talking to Jabba, because he hid it in R2D2. So that's why he couldn't just cut Jabba in half or whatever.
Well, I thought he was.
But that's the kind of thing. Like they don't ever. Like you said, it's a great way to explain it. It doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Yeah, but also though, here's the part that baffles me, because remember in season 2 we just saw the vampires levitate a bit. Where the fuck did they get these vampire wings in season 4? Because you saw it with Radical, and then you saw it with Alucard that they were able to pull
now too much logic, too much thinking.
Okay, to be fair, I'm gonna be fair here. We did see numerous vampires with different abilities in season 2. So it's not out of the realm possibility that some vampires can just simply grow wings and fly. It's not out of the realm possibility, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know, but it was like, I don't see consistency here.
I mean, what is it the modern writers say? It's magic. Don't gotta explain shit. Yeah. Why bother caring about consistency? You know, it all doesn't matter. None of it matters.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose. Now, since I'm done with my little rant, Salem, please take away with the quotes.
Okay. And remember, Malcolm McDowell wasted his vocal cords on this shit. Okay. Why is it that only human hands can reach into hell? Don't you think that's really fucked up? I can't do it. Oh my god.
Wait, that doesn't, sorry, but how are you not? You're death. You're the embodiment of death. You can, how are you not?
Okay, I was put here at the dawn of life on Earth to feed on the last breath of every one of you fuckers. I'm a little more than a fucking thing. I am going to eat your soul, fuck it out, or shit it out, and use it to smother your fucking girlfriend to death.
Classic.
And remember, people, this guy is bedazzled in jewels, looks like he's a warlord, and looks like he's supposed to be formidable and scary. This is how he's talking. Let's go, Dracula. Go insane. Bring me everything I need to thrive. Murder the world just so I don't have to be hungry anymore. Oh my god.
Here's I swear to God, I can literally come up with something better for Death to say. How about this? And here, maybe you could have even had this foreshadowed throughout the episode, throughout the season, where Trevor gets existential and he finds out that Sypha is pregnant. He's scared of what might happen to him and all that stuff, and he's like, and then he say something like, oh Belmont, how many times have you avoided my grasp? How many of you have fallen to me? Through something like that, something like that, something that's cruel and calculating, and something like I would see Death as a villain would do. He would be like, I am an why do you question me? Why do you fight me? I am Death. I am inevitable. I'm the most consistent thing. I am the most consistent thing in existence.
No, Slim. Why would no, Slim. I don't know. You can say fuck.
Okay. How about this?
And you can say shit. And you can say ass. I know curse words. That is literally the level of fucking dialogue writing that these fuckers gave Death. Because I know that I only read off a few, but understand, people, almost every other fucking line, this guy is just cursing like a 5-year-old.
I said, sounds like it was written by Zack Snyder.
How cool? Here's the thing: how cool would it have been if Death revealed himself to Trevor and was like, "Oh Belmont, how many times have you eluded my grasp?" Just something like that, because Trevor is, of course, hard-headed and all that, and he's like, when he's trying to fight him with the MacGuffin blade at the end, he's like, you don't fear me, Belmont. You don't fear the grasp of death.
You know what would have been? You know what would have made it at least a little badass for Trevor, is if Death said, your ancestors couldn't avoid me. Even, this guy couldn't avoid me. This guy couldn't avoid me. Simon couldn't avoid me. So how the fuck are you any different? That's when you could have given Trevor the big badass one-liner, and then he, goes in for the kill.
Wait, did you say Simon? Is it Trevor Simon's ancestor?
No. I think Simon comes before Trevor.
Wait.
No.
Let me look this up.
No, I know. I remember somebody telling me this in Castlevania. The original Castlevania was Simon, and they're basing this off Castlevania 3, which was a prequel with Sypha, Alucard, and Trevor, who was the first Belmont to defeat Dracula the first time.
I think in the show, though, I think that Trevor makes an an off-brand, just a throwaway comment, which suggests that in the Castlevania TV series, Simon comes before him.
I remember somebody said that they followed that they did mention the quote unquote very first Belmont. They did make a reference to him, but I'm not sure they ever referenced. I'm pretty sure they would have put a lot more effort into referencing Simon, considering that he's technically
no, because it's when they first find the Belmont stronghold. And they say, who was involved in this? He goes, I think that Trevor says, I think it was Simon or something. It really is just like a throwaway line.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think it was Simon. I think it was like the first Belmont or something like that. I guarantee. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're right. I'm just saying I'm pretty sure it was like somebody. I remember somebody telling me it was a reference to the very first Belmont.
Well, my point still stands. Whatever it is, you could. What I'm saying is that you can have Death name off the Belmonts that came before him, and him say like, they couldn't, stop me. What makes you any different? And it's like, it's cliche and a little campy, but it's like, Trevor can say something in response to that, and then he reveals, what ace he has up his sleeve, and then you could also have, you would have to build up to this, emphasize that, little can stop Death, so that when Death finally sees what Trevor's got, he can have like the oh shit moment, and you can have that emotional impact of like, oh my, you're like, holy shit, the big baddie is actually scared for once. But no, we can't have that because you didn't build up any shit. You just pulled all the shit out of your ass.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like I'm having such trouble thinking of dialogue between these two because they really have never met or even talked to each other prior to this. And when they talk, it feels like you guys ever seen the live action TMNT with Michael Bay?
Nope. I avoided those like the plague.
Well, in that movie, it's stupid, and I know there's like literally no connection between Shredder and Splinter in that movie. Like Splinter didn't learn martial arts from Masayoshi; he learned it from a fucking book. And like the closest thing they have is that Shredder, the scientist who worked with April's dad, who was the scientist who mutated the turtles, he ends up working with the Shredder, and that's the closest thing to any kind of real interaction they have. So when like the Shredder fights Splinter at one point in the movie, he's talking like, you think you're their father? You think they're your sons? And he's like, they are. And he's like, you guys don't know each other. You guys don't even know each other exist. There's no like rival clan of the Hamato and the Foot Clan. So there's no history between you two. So it's kind of awkward that you're having this battle. Unlike other Splinter versus Shredder battles, you guys don't know each other. So it's not really as epic as you're trying to make it look. The same thing goes here. Like, there's literally, you were trying to make this look epic, but it's like, these two don't know each other. They never interacted off each other. What the hell are you doing? Like, what were you thinking?
Here's an example of where it does work, but it works only because of the genre. So remember the movie The Interview with Seth Rogen, James Franco?
Yep.
Nope.
Nearing the end, there's that scene where Rogen and Franco are in a tank and they're driving away, and Kim Jong-un flies them on the helicopter, and it's like the big showdown, and Kim yells, "Skylark!" and then Franco yells, "Kim!" Like they're like this, like there's this huge rivalry between the two. But the only reason why it works is because part of the joke is that they literally just met the other day. So the only time it can work is when it's in a comedy.
It's a joke.
Yeah. I do recommend that movie, even though that everyone turned into a big blue pillar eventually. But that is a legitimately funny movie.
Yeah, Seth Rogen's only funny when he's with Franco, in my opinion. Anyway,
yeah.
I do think like that's a big problem. I do think like trying to make Saint Germain a villain at the end didn't make a whole lot of sense. I don't know who he's trying to get back. I don't care because he didn't really go into detail about it. It's just, oh, girl, I like trying to get back.
Yeah, especially don't build her up when you're hiding her face. What the fuck? Especially also when he's in that realm and starts seeing the future and all this shit. It's like, don't bring up all these huge things and then just don't return to them.
Like it really
just that.
I also like how Sypha just casually tells like, "Hey, I'm pregnant, so I gotta kind of leave." Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's like she forgot like
Oh god.
milk at the store. It's like, well,
Oh
I'm
god. No no
pregnant.
no. Even worse. Even worse. Did we talk about Trevor coming back?
Yes, I was like, what the actual fuck you, fuck you.
Oh,
I was like, no,
once again, writers, you've already tried to have this emotional impact, this huge final battle. It's like the one thing that I would have said, okay, at least there is this last thread that
at
holds
least
it, so it's like, okay, at least something, you stuck with
yeah,
one idea. But no,
he sacrificed
sever,
himself. He sacrificed
you
himself
sever
to save
every
humanity.
fucking thing.
He sacrificed himself. Like it was so cool. Like as stupid as it was, Trevor sacrificed himself to save humanity. And knowing that at the end of the day, he carries on the Belmont legacy with the woman he loves. By
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, yeah, cool. But then you say, oh, well, actually, he's alive, and not only is he alive, they both simultaneously make fun of it and don't treat it like a big deal at the same time. Like I mean, like it was just such a weird and stupid decision. Like, oh
But yeah,
my
that's one of
god,
the problems in today's entertainment. We can no longer have anything that sticks that is uncomfortable, heavy, or emotionally sorrowful. We always have to be, oh no, everything's hunky dory, guys, because we're
also,
so fucking scared to
uh,
acknowledge reality in any way in today's entertainment.
also, guys, you want to know how bad the pacing is of this show overall is. All of the shit that happened, all of the shit that we talked about for over the past 4 years, right? We've been talking about this for over like five. We've known each other for 5 years, haven't we?
Let's see, season one was 2017, correct?
I
Yeah,
think so.
and we bonded over that. We talked about season two, so it's
But
been about 4 or 5 years. We've known each other for
um,
4 or 5 years, huh? Time flies, huh? But
oh, seeing as how we were talking about Trevor not being dead, I'm reminded of that one Simpsons quote. Dan gummit, does anyone in this cemetery stay dead?
but like here's something interesting I find hilarious. I find really hilarious. All this shit that happened has literally been 3 months. That's how bad the pacing of the show is. You'd think this would take place over the course of 3 years at the least. But no, everything that we talked about has happened within 3 months. The 4 seasons of Transylvania happened within 3 months of each other. The from season one, well, technically a year in 3 months. But hear me out. Like that was a year. They waited a year after they killed Dracula's wife, and then 3 months after that, it will be the end of season four. That's how the
Slim,
pacing of the
Slim, shut up and consume.
like. Are we not going to talk about like all this shit we talked about? You'd think this would go on over the course of a few. Hell, even Avatar could acknowledge that this stuff happened within maybe a year and some change. You're gonna sit here and tell me that all this shit happened in 3 months. All of this shit happened. Let me rephrase what happened in 3 months. Okay, civilization collapsed. Dracula died. Um, vampire usurpers. Um,
Yeah, I gotta say,
wars.
it's kind of funny
War
how
with the
little time passes, and yet everybody hears very very quickly that Dracula died.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like I said that in season. As I said that in season three, like nobody. I'll get back to that in a second. But here's the thing, and then um and then Alucard spiraled into madness, which is something I still found was stupid. So many people defended that by saying he's been by himself for 2 months. 2 months he's been by himself. like, what the fuck? He can't be going insane after 2 months by yourself. Like that, like, you can leave whenever you want. It'd be one thing if you were in a prison cell for 2 months. Sure, you can literally leave whenever you want and come back whenever you want. You can do whatever you want. And you're saying, oh, well, 2 months by myself and I've gone crazy. Bullshit. Bullshit. All of this stuff happened. Collapse of the royal family. All this shit happened. All this planning by Death. Apparently his big grand scheme plan to bring Dracula back. All of this shit happened. All of it happened within 3 months. 3 months this shit happened.
Also, I gotta say, Alucard also completed his full circle of turning into an Evanescence fan. Like, if I have to hear you, Alucard, if I have to hear you bitching anymore instead of doing badass vampire things, we're gonna have an issue.
Like, I remember that one scene where he's like talking to these people and he's like brooding, like trying super hard to be serious. It's like, it's like he's talking to Saint Germain. It's like, I think he says something like, "We can go to your castle." And he's like, "Perhaps." And like, dude, are we? Fuck, my arm.
How can you see into my eyes?
This is a stream, not a musical number.
Crawling in my skin. I just want to see like a fucking Alucard in My Chemical Romance t-shirt. he's just like, oh yeah, I guess. And he's just become such a boring fucking character. It's ridiculous. Yeah, Max, he got her pregnant real fast. Again, him and Sypha, again, what makes sense if it was like a year. I would get that. But it's been like a few months. You've essentially been quote unquote dating, and I wouldn't even say a few months. Maybe even around 2 months. I doubt like they would just instantly get together like as soon as they left the castle. I doubt that they were like, yeah, we need to find a bush. I need to get in that. I need to get in that right now.
Yeah, but, I was gonna say, like it's not uncommon for couples to jump into sex pretty quick. But it is very uncommon for them to be like, "Oh, fuck it," being careful that early into the relationship.
Not even that. Like, I wouldn't really think Sypha would be just open. Like, doesn't she have like traditions in her family and stuff? Like, I'm pretty sure that would be something like. That's some like here's the thing. I really don't like how they kind of just threw in that these two were fucking in season 3. Like I said, I liked it better when it was implied that they worked better when it was an implied relationship than when they were actually in a relationship. It felt more believable when it was implied. Now that they actually are in one, it can be funny sometimes, but at this point, this feels way too much like a fucking rom-com that I can't take it seriously.
Well, like I said, and Omen said, very fanficky,
Yeah, like I liked there was this one, like I said, it's like there's one writer who actually stayed from season 2 and was like being in the background, writing some background. They're like, hey, we need Trevor to say something deep, write something deep for him, and like the creator and the guy's like, this is my chance. I don't have to get the coffee. I can actually write something. And and it was like a really profound moment where Trevor's like reflecting. The Belmont pullout game was weak. but like Trevor's like reflecting something in the lake, and he's like, am I actually ready to open myself up to someone like this? That like I am stunted emotionally. Like, cause what happened to me when I was so young? Am I ready to open myself up again? Like to be part of something with somebody else? Like, and I was like, okay, yeah, let's examine that. That doesn't feel like a rom-com. That feels like, character development for Trevor. He would be trusting of Sypha more. It would be more interesting if there was like, oh, well, I'm starting to develop feelings for Sypha. Something like that. But it's just like, that's the one time where they're actually profound about their relationship. And then for the rest of the series, it's rom-com shenanigans. rom-com shenanigans. That's all it is. Like they literally spent the first episode of season 4 of them basically having couples arguments about killing monsters. Like no joke. I'm not exaggerating when I say this. They literally just say, I'm just tired, okay? I'm tired, and we're fighting monsters all the time, and I don't know what I want to do. I'm trying to stop Dracula from resurrecting. I'm like, shut the fuck up! I don't care.
I think you knew what you were getting into when you signed up for this.
I'm like, I do not care. Like, again, you guys had more chemistry when it was implied you liked each other. Now that you're actually dating, all you do is complain. And that's what people think this is what immature people think couples always do. That's that they always like complain and complain and talk about their relationship like they're on a fucking reality TV show. And that's not how people do that, man. It's annoying. It's super annoying.
Slim, there are some people who they refuse to interact with the real world because the real world is icky and evil. So I'll just watch and read a bunch of people who complain on Tumblr, and then I'll know how to write real characters.
I'm telling you, man, the vampires and Callous Masters won't be pussies. I swear to God, they won't.
You should see certain things that I am working on.
We technically work together. We technically have the same boss right now. We're technically co-workers. Shit. Oh man, that's awesome. I hope you don't feel left out, buddy.
Oh, I'm not.
But yeah. Like for those wondering, in Callous Master, vampires are essentially high elves that got corrupted. And I'll get into that later. Back in those. What'd you say?
I said damn elves.
Oh. They came to the north and stole our jobs.
Skyrim belongs to the lords.
Yeah, just
oh great Skyrim nerds.
And then the casual genocide placed on religious value is one thing, but they stole our jobs. Oh yeah. And then they just showed a rooster. Oh my god. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Bags. Yeah, we're both technically on the Mythoverse payroll, working on our stuff. It's great. But
oh yeah, I was gonna say, do we have anything interesting in the chat to address, or?
Nothing.
I'm not looking at the chat, and actually, technically, I can't look at it when I've got the stream pulled up. So.
Yeah. Well. The only one who's been talking is Bagtins. We have 2 people watching apparently, but yeah. I think we've covered about everything that's shit about this season. Let's see here: Cypher and Trevor, Saint Germain, Death, the Vampire Sorority Sisters, the Vampire.
Can we just? I know we've talked about how bad Death is, but can we just talk about how criminal it was to give Malcolm McDowell that role?
Yes.
Yeah, like I said, it was a waste. Like you just had.
Like I'm not trying to be uncomfortable here, but the guy's getting up on in years, so I'd be hoping that his last few roles were more interesting than this.
Yeah, I'm still reminded that what Dennis Hopper's last movie was not his most dignified. Yes, Dennis Hopper, the man himself. His last role was an Alpha and Omega.
That might be the proper send-off to him, though, if you think about it.
God rest his soul. And and to be fair, he called Murdoch a knob, and he never got him back. oh yes, we teamed up with numerous collaborators, including Dennis Hopper, and he says it showed on a thing carved to the wall. Murdoch is a knob. I'll get him. I'll get him. Oh, Salem. On a more positive note, Gorillas turned 20 years old this year.
Good. I gotta be honest though, I don't know, I haven't been following them very much because, especially in the last year, I can't get into the whole. They've always been political, but they've always had their heads before they had their heads in reality of some stuff. But their recent shit has pissed me off enough now where I've pretty much dropped Gorillas. I just.
I still think to a degree, it's not like because they even did the whole like free Tibet thing a long time ago. They were pretty blunt about their politics, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, fine. And overall, I would say I'm not too mad about it. For me anyway, I don't think they've ever really crossed that line. I think the only they clearly say some things I disagree with, and that's their prerogative. I don't think they've ever crossed the line of if you believe in X, don't listen to our music. I don't think they crossed that line. Now, if you cross that line, then we're gonna have a problem. But I don't think they've ever crossed that line, as far as I know of, anyway. And I'm just like,
I mean, they've gone. I mean, the thing is, it's all in the background stuff, like a bunch of the pictures that'll be posted. If you look at every little thing in detail, it's like they have very clear fuck yous in the backgrounds, and that's the thing. It's like that's another part of me. I would have more respect for them if they just were open about that, because then I'd be like, hey, I don't like you, but if that's what we're going to be about, fine. But it's like they've been too fucking cowardly at times to just say some things, and that pisses me off even more. That's just a personal thing of mine, though, because I still love what I grew up with regarding Gorillaz. I just nowadays I can't get into it. I've always believed in separating the art from the artist, but now the thing is, now the artists, well, the mainstream ones, that is, they're now saying that there is no more separation. My work is this, and so it's like, okay, well then, good riddance.
I mean, like I said, I can I can. I guess I don't want to say like you're anything against you. It's like I guess I have a higher tolerance for it because, like I said, I don't think they've ever been like blunt up. Like they clearly have politics. I mean, like there was a certain election in 2016. They literally had a song dedicated to, oh my god, the end of the world. Essentially, I'm just like, yeah, but it's a really fucking good song. I don't care.
I see. Even because that was the thing. When I saw that, I was like, it was like, okay, but maybe the message is a little cringe, but hey, let's see how the song is. And honestly, I hated the song on its own because it felt like that they intended it to be depressing. I was just listening to the lyrics, and it's like, this doesn't really get a lot of emotion out of me, guys.
You don't like Hallelujah Money?
No, I just, like I said, it didn't get like an emotion. It didn't get a reaction out of me with the song on its own. So I was just kind of sitting there going like, eh.
Yeah, like here's the thing. The only reason I got like I got an emotion is because remember, this was the first single Gorillaz had put out in literally years. Like it's been more or less dead silent. But then they just when you hear not Damon Albarn's voice, when you hear 2D's voice, there's a difference when it's Damon Albarn and 2D, you can tell. And when you hear 2D's voice after so long, you're just like, fuck it, man. It's just so happy to have them back. Oh, man.
And I suppose, too, that's the other thing. It's like, there was other things going on, and you guys decided to comment on something that at the time the guy hadn't even been in, done anything yet, and you guys are acting like it is the end of the world. So maybe I was also affected by the message too. Then I don't know. Just it was because the thing is, maybe another reason is because I agreed with their politics quite a bit up to that point.
Yeah, they can't. They can't. They can't
and
have.
then to
They
have
can't.
something, and then to have something just completely 180 or very very different. Maybe that's why maybe that's why it didn't. Maybe that's why I found it a little jarring. It was like the first time.
Ironically enough,
it's like I really.
The stuff they I'm just gonna be upfront. The stuff Damon and Jamie Hewlett clearly appraised for, they wouldn't be able to get away with now, especially considering a recent superpower that's slowly accumulating over the world. That you're not really allowed to criticize anymore. They were vehemently against them. Like there was a
Wait,
there was
I'm sorry. What are we talking about? I must have spaced out.
Basically like the politics they had back then wouldn't be considered kosher today, considering the entertainment industry and how a certain country is very
and
much.
That's the other thing too, because I thought that they were against all the slave labor shit and things, but I clearly see some people involved in gorillas who clearly have Nike apparel on.
But but it's not only that. Like you know how everyone in the entertainment industry is appealing to a certain country. A certain country that's becoming that's coming close. That's a global superpower essentially that we're not allowed to criticize anymore. Apparently. But here's the thing.
I think it rhymes with kinda.
Yeah, kind of rhymes with kinda. But here's the thing. I remember the ad. I remember they did an ad where it was literally 2D drawn in with a bunch of free Tibet people.
Yep, I remember that.
And then of course there you guys ever heard their rock opera? The rock opera.
Oh god, yeah, Monkey Journey to the West, yeah.
Yeah, Monkey. So Monkey Beak, the best song in the entire thing. Apparently what they did was take a lot of imperial Chinese opera music that was used for regal, operas and regal events and very high society affairs, and they combined it with basically commoner farming songs essentially.
Mm-hmm.
This pissed the fuck out of the Chinese government when they did this. They combined those two essentially, and it pissed the fuck out of the Chinese government when they played it overseas. They were not happy, but it was kind of like a throw, like kind of a little jab towards the very let's say imperialistic nature of a certain country.
Yeah, but the thing is, I sincerely doubt that they would be brave enough to. Because here's the thing: they're acting like they're standing against tyrants right now, and it's like, no, guys, what you did before actually had a lot of gravity to it. What you're doing now is literally the safest shit imaginable.
Yeah, you either signing off. See you later, Bags. I might actually need to cut the stream soon because my tablet's dying.
Okay.
So maybe
and I'm sorry to be the bitch, guys. I just when Slim brought it up, it's like, oh man, it's like I would love to talk gorillas all day, but the thing is, it is one of those things that I've ended up leaving behind. Because it's like, well, if you guys don't want me here, then it's fine. I won't fucking be here.
Like to be fair to you, the last few songs have been okay.
Mm-hmm.
There was some really good stuff on Humans.
Oh yeah. No,
There was
humans I
some
like.
really good.
Humans I like.
Andromeda was amazing. I fucking love Andromeda. Uh, but yeah, just a lot of good stuff. There was some bad stuff in there too, but mostly it was an overall really really good album. And then they did the other one. It was and they sounded so similar, and it kind of like focused a lot on it was supposed to be like a what was it called? It was like a summer themed one. Uh fuck, what was it called? Uh I forgot. It was a summer themed one, and those kind of just blended together. It wasn't
Mhm.
bad, but it was very much blended together. Um, I did like that they made one almost immediately after Humans to keep the momentum going, but I was like, and I did like that they got Ace from the Powerpuff Girls to replace Murdoch. That was
Oh
actually
God, yeah, that was
that was
beautiful.
that was really cool, and I still can't get over the fact that they're technically in the same canon universe now. But talk about weird. But the thing about it is,
It's the best thing that happened to the Powerpuff Girls in years.
yeah, and then then there's Song
Oh, we're not going
Machine.
to talk about that.
Talk about yeah. We're not. I don't have the energy right now.
Okay.
And then there's Song Machine that had some really good stuff on there. Um, Desolé was really good. Like that felt like I like almost every song on there felt like the first few songs on there felt like they were from different albums. Desolé sounded like it was from Plastic Beach. I was like, holy
Mm.
shit! I'm like, wait, girls, are you guys is your Plastic Beach showing? Um, and then Momentary Bliss was fucking awesome. It reminded me like of their classic their alternative rock days from the 2000s. I'm like, yeah, it's fucking big. Uh, but yeah, a lot of their other stuff was good too. But like the recent stuff is fine. It's fine, and it's not bad, but it's fine. Like a lot of it does kind of gel together, and I'll even argue that some of it is even a bit forgettable, which I don't ever want to say about a Gorilla song. Gorillaz is one of Gorillaz is literal like you can ask any fan of Gorillaz, you listen to the song once, you think, oh, it's actually really good. You hear it twice, and then like, okay, this is really good. This might be some of the best. Then you hear it for a third time. It's your favorite song of all time. It's your favorite song that they've done in that moment of time, and then you listen to it for the fourth time, and you're singing it in your head for the next 3 weeks. That's how
It's very
Gorilla
much like
songs work.
it's very much like Daft Punk in that way.
Yeah, like you got to listen to it over and over and over again. But like the recent stuff, I just can't like get back into it over and over and over. Just recently, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I'll still listen to it. It's still good. It's still good. They're still like miles ahead, better than anybody in the mainstream right now. It's still unique. I still like, oh, that's still Gorillas. But I'm just like, you guys feel like you lost your edge.
Yeah, and you know what? That is it does kind of tie into their what I was talking about before with their because they do cite a lot of their motivation and shit as being the politics. And the thing is, when Gorillas had come out, they were up against they were essentially up against the world in a way. I mean, they had a huge fan following, but in terms of like people who held the governmental and cultural reins, they were the black sheep. They were the ones that were standing out. But the thing is, you can't pretend to be a rebel when you are the machine.
Yeah,
And
you can't. Yeah,
and
like
that's probably what's assisting in their downfall here. Is they're
yeah,
falling
like
into the same trap a lot of celebrities are. Oh, I'm special and I'm different.
I think it's more
No.
along the lines of that yeah, like a lot of people said, like you're not real, like I said, you're not really being like, for instance, how they portray, ironically, how they portray gorillas now, they portray them a little bit more seriously and try to make them more appealing to a mainstream audience, when ironically their entire existence was literally a big gigantic fuck you to celebrities and how vapid and soulless the music industry had become. They were literally created to be a giant.
They were literally all the characters were supposed to be parodies of the things they hated in this industry.
I mean, like, yeah, I mean, you have like 2D, what like 2D was was basically the airheaded pretty boy and stuff like that. But like it wasn't even really like that. They literally made the characters because they initially, which is ironic because they were like hugely sponsored by MTV, but they were ultimately kind of like making fun of the fact that MTV, like, music television, was less about
music.
was literally becoming less and less about music and more about the celebrity side of things. So what if we
one of my
actually
favorite, and still to this day, one of my favorite Gorillas moments is when Murdoch is showing everyone his crib, and he's like, these celebrities today, they buy a house, and they fill it full of all this shit, and he's pissing on an MTV Music Award. Oh God!
I still love the fact that despite owning essentially a $1 million studio, Murdoch still lives in his van. Like, he just can't get out.
Yeah.
He said, "Oh, here it is, the Winnebago, my personal love shack on wheels." Just and like they just have gone. And I think that, again, like I said, it really feels like they're trying to be more mainstream than they were before, and they ironically feel like they're trying to be influencers and stuff like that. And I'm just like, no, that's kind of the opposite of what you guys were meant to be, because now you've ironically become what you set yourselves out to be parodies of. Essentially, you've become what you meant to parody. You become the very thing you were sent to destroy. And I'm just like,
and here's the thing, Slim. It's been quite a few months now, but I got to the Obi-Wan moment a long time ago where I'm like, I will do what I must.
Yeah, but I'm just like, and that's the thing. Like I said, you said, you have your way thing. I think they haven't crossed that line yet, because I guarantee you, if they did, they would be trending on Twitter. But I don't think they've crossed that line yet, where they said, "Don't buy our music, don't do this, yada 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 yada." Like, I don't think they've crossed that line yet. I think they've come close. I think they've come dangerously close, but I don't think they've crossed that line yet. And that's why I can still listen to Gorillaz no problem. And I still think that I honestly got what I do teeter on it. I don't think they're ever gonna like straight up cross that line quite at all, honestly.
And I also gotta just make clear, I still listen to their old stuff. I've got the collector's edition of each of their albums. This is how much I loved Gorillaz, but I can't support them as of now.
Yeah, I can. I'm still like, yeah, I can. Like you said, I think it's a great example. I think it's overall just, they lost their teeth. It's a lot like Animaniacs. Like, you can't really be counterculture. You can't really be counterculture and be part of the culture. You have to either make fun of it or embrace it, and you guys have chosen to more and more to embrace it. Ironically, because like they did, like, I think like The Simpsons is the pinnacle of this, and I forget and I've pointed this out numerous times. I wish I knew who the critic who said this, because it was like a review of the modern Simpsons and what's wrong with it, and they said this: The Simpsons started sucking when they stopped making fun of the culture and being critical of it and started becoming the culture. And I think that's kind of what Gorillaz has been doing recently, and that's why their stuff has, I wouldn't say has gotten bad, but has definitely lost its teeth. It's no longer as punching as I want it to be.
Yeah.
there was and again like they try and like I remember like they even like try to pull out these PSAs and stuff like that. I'm like, uh, two here's the thing, 2D maybe Russell, but Noodle, 2D, and Murdoch. I don't think they would care about public service announcements and shit like that. If Damon Albarn and Jamie Hewlett wanted to come back from behind the curtain and do that shit, then fine. But I don't think the characters would actually do that because I don't think they would actually fucking care.
I could actually see Murdoch doing it because if you've read his the mock interviews, he gets very very political in his interviews. But Noodle, I'm not sure of. That's just because I don't think that she's ever made it clear what her opinions and such are.
I mean, we know what her opinions are. You want to know why?
Why?
Because remember, she wrote pretty much all of Demon Days. So I know Damon Albarn and Jamie Hewlett wrote it. I get it. It's a thing. But like she canonically in the Gorillas universe, whatever you want to call it, wrote almost all of Demon Days. So like so she definitely isn't oblivious to the political landscape here. But I really do think like I don't know, man. It's just confusing. I have to guys, I have to actually end the podcast here because my phone my tablet's gonna die soon. So it was great having you guys on. It was great catching up again. Remind me of old times. Yeah, really fun. It kind of became a gorilla stream at the last minute there, but okay.
Oh, that was a Gorillas reference.
Yeah. So thanks for coming. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for everybody watching the stream. You guys have been lovely. Castlevania Season 4 sucks. I think we've all come to that conclusion.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, since now Castlevania is over with, what the heck are we going to complain about now?
Yeah, like everything, like, here's the thing, like...
Maybe we could... Hey, a killer idea, guys. Killer idea. Maybe the next time we talk about something, we'll talk about shit that we like.
Huh. You know, that's so crazy, it just might work.
We'll have to figure that out.
Because that's the other issue with today's entertainment and real world, is that everyone's always complaining and focusing on the negatives. Let's break the mold and do some positives.
I'll look into it.
Right. I need some sleep.
Yeah, dude, get some sleep. Thanks for dropping in. Talk to you guys later.
Yep, see ya.
Bye-bye.
All right. We still live?
Yeah, hold on a second.
Okay.